We're continuing our series, Resilience. It's been 5 years since life as we knew it changed.
This was the week in March 2020 that COVID-19 pandemic first began.
Yeah, 5 years ago today on March 11th, that was when COVID was declared a pandemic, and certainly politics was a big part of all of it right from the beginning.
Absolutely. A lot of discussion over this. It continues to be hard to wrap your mind around what has happened. Jacob Brooks talked to a political expert about it, and he joins us live with more on that conversation. Hi, Jacob.
Good morning. Can you believe it? It has been exactly 5 years since the pandemic began. Now, a lot of people at that time had strong opinions about the best way to respond to the pandemic, and that even became a focus of the 2020 presidential campaign. Now, Dr. Joe Morris is our political analyst. He's also a professor at Mercyhurst University. He says the pandemic is something he never thought he'd see in his life. He remembers a lot of the political tension the pandemic caused since the start of it. He says some of that could be blamed on the Trump administration. A lot of people, he says, didn't trust Trump's response to COVID, and that means people didn't know who to look to for trustworthy information. There was a lot of distrust about COVID vaccines, too. The misinformation about vaccines is not new. He says a way to combat that is by learning about science.
We have to have an education in science because it is science more than any other method of understanding our world that has allowed us to produce information, knowledge that allows us to function.
He says politics being a part of public health will probably continue, and our coverage of 5 years since COVID continues all this week on Sunrise. Live in the studio, Jacob Brooks, Erie News Now.